by staff. Your options for use as described by your colleague. And number 3 is just to not allow us to use
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just before we hear from the speakers, I wanted to just reflect on both yours and Councilmember Burke's proposal, if I can have staff respond, particularly to hear from PD on the first responders' need for the CAD integration in the DAC, whether or not we can activate the level of response if this was a port-only solution with the CAD data. That we hear from, just to understand how the CAD data is used, because I heard you all saying a lot of stuff, but I couldn't really synthesize what you were saying with respect to the CAD.
So the CAD data is our computer aided dispatch. So when individuals, community members call in with information, emergency, whatever it may be, that goes into our CAD system. When officers are dispatched, and when officers advise communications as to where they're going and what they're doing, that information goes into the CAD system. So currently, that information is out at our communications out in East Oakland, and that information is then having to be broadcast to the EOC, and then relayed within the EOC to whoever is there running the incident. What the proposal is to integrate CAD would allow that information to go directly into the mapping and combine it with other information that we're receiving to give us an overall picture of what's going on. So the CAD data would go directly into that mapping, and we can see what calls are coming in. If somebody's calling in about an accident, shots fired, an explosion, whatever it may be, that immediately goes up, and we have that information in conjunction with the rest of the become available.
And then the second thing that's contemplated in the first proposal would be with the police and fire records management systems. And Councilmember Schaaf was asking the question as to whether or not you could bifurcate the CAD from the RMS, or do those need to be together in order to be activated appropriately as contemplated things?
I believe you can separate them, but I think it's something you might be able to. I believe you can, yes.
Okay. And can I hear from fire on the same question, please? Thank you, Chief Deputy.
Good evening, Council. Fire Chief Teresa Reed, through the chair. In response to the CAD, did you want to speak to the CAD first?
Yes.
Okay, in response to the CAD that I explained before, it's a computer-aided dispatch, and this is the information that the dispatch comes out of. Currently, our firefighters receive that information inside the rooms on the DVCs. Having it aligned with the DAC will also be able to see the incident that's going on within the city. They would be able to see the resources that's responding to that incident. If the incident is on the court where the cameras are available, they can view that incident and pretty much validate whether we have enough resources responding or not, and then make a request to maybe we need additional resources. So I can see that as a benefit to having the CAD system aligned with that.
So essentially what the DAC then is just, it allows a time savings with respect to the relay of this information?
Correct. Instead of with the cameras incorporated, looking at what's going on in the court, that they could see what the incident is, and then we can have resources responding quicker versus just having that the first initial resources responding and then getting on scene and requesting additional resources.
And then the second thing, Chief, was whether or not you can bifurcate the inclusion of CAD data as contemplated for time saving away from the records management system.
I believe those two can be separated.
Okay. The other question that I have, and I think this is for PD, thank you, Chief, is with respect to ShotSpotter as contemplated in phase 1. The proposal, I guess, currently under phase 1, all ShotSpotter activations are now able to be centralized into the DAC. Is that correct? Is that what was included in the phase 1?
That's correct.
And so thought behind having ShotSpotter activation in the DAC, and then how the Brooks proposal with ShotSpotter just being activated in the areas around the port. If you can just speak from PD's perspective, how those two different things could be deployed.
So on the ShotSpotter itself, with that, if there is an incident that has multiple locations and involves gunfire, potentially gunfire responding either officers, firefighters, in a large-scale incident that happens at the port, that would allow us to identify where those shots are coming from. The ShotSpotter does not cover the port itself. ShotSpotter covers some of the roads that are leading in and out of the port, but not the port itself. What I don't know in the second question and with the proposal is, are we able to split ShotSpotter so it only covers a portion of the port? That's more of a technology issue. I would think we probably can, I just can't answer that specifically. But from our perspective, it allows us to know, are there is gunfire happening around the ingress and egress towards the port? That could provide us information that is a safety issue for us.
And leveraging the DAC grant to include ShotSpotter, what is your thought behind that, Deputy Chief, with respect to ShotSpotter in the DAC as opposed to how ShotSpotter calls it deployed there?
So ShotSpotter currently is deployed. Some of our officers get access to it in their vehicles. Some commanders get access to it on their desktops, and then our communications gets access to it as well. So that information is available. It comes into our dispatch center. If ShotSpotter is not in the DAC, then we wouldn't clearly see that as commanders who are running an incident and having that overall situational awareness. Again, it would be broadcast that we have to document somewhere, but it wouldn't be that increased time that the information gets to us specifically.
Okay, thank you. Hassan, did you want to have a follow-up on the bifurcation of ShotSpotter on the port areas? It is possible.
Of course, but I guess it's a discussion I need to have with the systems integrator who's going to be implementing the solution. Technically, it sounds possible, the geocoding and the filtering possibility. But what we have not done is, of course, the phase 1 integration was done by one vendor. The second vendor is going to do the phase 2 integration. And as we had included in the report is there's a cost associated with it. There was a funding associated with it through FEMA to pay for that integration. So we need to go back and do a little bit more due diligence on what does it mean to take out that integration which is existing and operational, meaning up and running. And the second one is how do we implement that geo filtering to make sure that it's only limited to the port area. So we need to do more work.
Okay. Madam President, just a clarification.
I have now Ms. Kaplan, Ms. Brooks, and the city administrator in the queue, and let's have that be it, and get on with the speakers. Ms. Kaplan.
Thank you, and I want to thank my colleagues for their comments. So if I heard correctly,